All right, welcome back. Let's talk about one more story. One more story. Okay, one more story. Before we continue, we have little Scrappy and Bambi. Now, I'm not clear. Somebody please help me in the chat if you know their story. Are they divorced? Have they finalized? I know they were going through divorce. I'm not sure if they're divorced. But he said something. I haven't even listened to it, but I thought it would be interesting just off of looking at the caption that that the shade room put up. Chinya says, I love their love story and like them together. You're talking about Jinemai and Yeezy. I think they might find their way back. I think there's a good chance they might find their way back. Yeah, but when I was listening to an interview with Jeezy, it's a lot of trouble from the past with that guy as well. So I don't know. It's hard for some people to forgive or to let go. It's just very hard. It's almost impossible. It's possible. Okay, but let's go through this. Little Scrappy and Bambi, they are stars of Ratchet TV reality TV shows. So let's hear what he has to say. I just found the headline interesting, and I thought we should cover this before we go into the main story. Let's see.
In your marriage with Bambi?
What you mean?
Like being...
Let me get the full question.
Was that happening in your marriage with Bambi?
What you mean?
Like being with her and she feeling like you're out there doing something?
Yes, the whole time. I'm like, I could be going to the stores, not the stay, don't say that petty, but I could be going to the studio session. I could be going to Miami. I love going to Miami to get stress off. You know what I'm saying? I get like, it's certain places in the world that I know it's easy to, I can get my money up. You know what I'm saying? So Miami, one of them places for me. You know what I'm saying? And she would just get mad because certain people would live there, but I'm like, I ain't.
Your exes would live there.
Yeah, live there or be down there or something like that. But I'm like, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
All right, listen. I'm struggling to understand what he's saying. Let me see. Tia says, from their conversation where Scrappy had accountability and apologized, it sounded like they were divorced. Oh, okay. All right, so we actually disconnected all the Ratchet TV sources from our house here. No big deal. We just thought we should become a little bit more productive. Anyway, okay, so it looks like it's finalized. Okay. All right, I'm trying to understand what he's saying. He said something about going to Miami to go relieve stress, get this money up, something like that.
Got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Let me live my life, cause it ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? But I feel it though. I feel on the same tip because I would kind of feel a certain kind of way too. But I have to have some proof, like to really like fuck you about it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you married to somebody, man, obviously y'all gonna be together for a long time. So you might want to like hold off of certain shit. You might don't want to say everything you think or you're feeling. You know what I'm saying? You might want to. You got time. You know what I'm saying? Like everything you hear.
Like don't tell them everything, right? Just hold on to certain things. Okay. Let's see where it's going with that because it depends on what it means too. Remember in the beginning he said, "What you mean?" Right? It depends on what he means. So let's see if we can get to what he means.
You don't want to like. Don't believe everything you hear. Like if a motherfucker sitting right there next to you with you every day, and y'all laughing together every day, y'all loving on each other, y'all arguing, y'all together every day. And then all of a sudden this man go do his job, what he been doing before he got married, or he been doing before he even met you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? His dream and goals now is like some going on. Now it's like, oh, what's going on? Like, I'm like, I'm going to a show. Like, just imagine that. Like, I used to be scared to even post my shows, bro. Like
It's a show. Why would you be scared to post that? Interesting. Let's see here. Now, I do acknowledge that a lot of men are scared of their wives, okay? Even when they're not necessarily doing anything wrong. Okay? I do agree with that. But there's no smoke without fire. It doesn't have to be a fire, but there's no smoke without fire ultimately. Okay? There's a reason why your wife will be hunting and, to the extent where you're scared of, posting your own shows where you're actually working, right? There's usually a reason. Now, I would take it that maybe you don't know the reason, but there's usually a reason, right? The reason is not necessarily your fault. In fact, the reason might go way beyond your relationship into the past. Maybe it's experiences from the past. But yeah, most times they don't trust you, right? Okay, a lot of times, not most, a lot of times that trust issue is coming from the past. Okay, but if your way of moving is kind of aligning with what they fear the most, they will literally attract what they fear the most. Okay, so even if you're not doing anything wrong, everything will look like it, right? But especially when you're doing something wrong, how is that for pandering to a man? God help us. All right, the point I'm making here is that there's no smoke without fire. Okay, but let's continue.
Bambi jealous of your success, your career?
That's what some people say. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real.
All right, so that's a very common thing. See, Oyibo people do it too. Yeah, Scrappy's Oyibo. They do it too. They start accusing their partner of jealousy, right? They do it too, right? And oftentimes it comes from, other people kind of say that. But if you have insecurities or you have fear already, you have issues, you have ways you can relate and tag onto that, you start to wonder, like, is she jealous of me, right? A lot of times men who are working, they're always out and about and they're taking care of the wife, and the wife is a stay-at-home mom, or she does kind of part-time stuff, or she feels like she's put her life on hold for you to have babies. Or yeah, she's gonna come off as she's jealous. I don't think she's jealous. I think that's emotions. Emotions is not your mate. Let me say that in pidgin. Emotion will be your mate. Okay. All right. That's how it shows up. When they don't feel fulfilled, it might come off as they're jealous of you because you're busy out and about, especially if you go to Miami to go and relieve stress. As a married man, going to Miami, a rapper, southern rapper, to go and relieve stress. Let's assume that it doesn't involve strip clubs. It doesn't involve IG models, being on the yachts, right? Let's just assume it doesn't involve any of that, right? Okay. So you're on a show on a yacht. There's a bunch of IG models around. So you don't want to post your shows. You're making money. You're making $5,000 just for being on that yacht. It's possible, right? It's unlikely. But anyway, I believe you, right? But the point is that there's no smoke without fire. If you're going to do the marriage business thing, it's a serious business. You gotta take it seriously. And if you care for it and you care for all the rewards that come with it, which is great, it's obviously sacrifice. All right, and that sacrifice will feel like sacrifice only short term, by the way, only short term. Okay, because actually it's your best life. Okay, but it might not feel that way because everything aesthetic, IG models everywhere, release stress, especially if she's stressing you out at home, right? Yeah.
Because I ain't never had that conversation, and I don't think she would tell me.
Yeah, what are you gonna say?
Person gonna say, yeah, I'm jealous of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm jealous of you, right? What about if you have a mindset that you already know that that's not even a thing? Like, no, my wife is not jealous of me. She must be going through something that I need to take my time to understand more. I don't have to have the answer right now, but I need to take my time to understand a little bit more about what she's feeling from an emotional standpoint without making it my fault, just from a place of understanding, right? Can you disengage yourself like that from understanding, or disengage the idea that you're guilty from? Can you do that? If you don't have help or support, it's unlikely because you're a human being like the rest of us. Of course, that's your wife. You're going to feel a little guilty, and then you're going to react accordingly, and then back and forth, right? Before you know it, escalation of issues. You forgot what you started the conversation about. You forgot what the argument was about. But now you're filing for divorce.
And but it's just always something, bro. Like, it's crazy that it was like, and I done told Sierra, I done told Erica these things. They didn't give a fuck about my pain. Like, when I told them folk, like, what I had to go through with her, they just looked at her side. Like,
no, they're looking at you like, yo, maybe you should file for divorce. Are you sure you want to be a man? That's why. And of course, they're women, so they can relate with her probably more. That's normal behavior. Why are you so surprised about that? Unrealistic expectations. Pride. Ouch. Anyway, let's leave Scrappy alone. Let's get to the main business of the day. Scrappy. I love listening to it. I just tend to not understand certain things. For the most part, I do understand, but sometimes I have to like rewind. Scrappy had a lot of transgressions, so she doesn't trust him. You know, trust. Once you tamper with trust, it's hard. It's very hard to come back. So of course, she will show you shiggy. When she show you shiggy, it's time to learn something new. Anyway.